now listening to the Sons Africa podcast. I am African Ant.
This is Black Son.
What was so funny about that, man?
Nothing, man. Just the way you said it. That's all. That's all.
Was it funny because you noticed you was ugly, or why?
You always want to try to talk about my looks. You must be jealous, bro. You must be mad because I look better than you.
No.
So you always try to put me down.
I'm just saying. Make yourself feel better. No. I'm just saying.
You always be trying.
I'm just saying, because you laugh like I said something funny.
I got something I'm gonna put up there for next time, bro. I just thought I'm gonna see what you got to say about it. It's a video.
It better not be about me, because if you want to do that, we can go. We
no.
can go all day.
All right, man. Let's get this show on the road. We got a couple things that we want to talk about. That I want to talk about, and I know you got something you want to talk about too. Yeah. Since we've been away for a long time, try not to get too ignorant with some things, man. But we're gonna start it off with the news. With the news,
start with the news and then do the flash.
No. We can go ahead and do with our trip down memory lane because I got some pictures this time around. Normally I don't have none, but this time I got some pictures.
He got some for that, so let's go.
All right, let me go there.
See what you got.
You remember this?
Yeah, didn't you have some of them Cabbage Patch?
Yeah, your mama had.
No, I could have sworn you had a couple of them.
Your mama had all of them.
Matter of fact, the one with the afro at the top kind of looked like you when you had your afro.
You remember the giant cabbage patch or whatever dye that Joy used to have?
Yeah.
The one that we threw in there at Eli?
No, that was Chucky. That was Chucky. He cut him up.
It wasn't Chucky. It looked like Chucky.
That was Chucky, I thought.
No, it looked like Chucky. It wasn't Chucky, though.
It was the red. Yeah, he cut him up with the knife.
Yeah.
Hey, we was wrong for that, man. He could have caused him to have a heart attack or something.
Something, bro. I think he pulled the gun out on it too, didn't he?
Probably. I know he cut it up. You don't remember we put those skates at the top of the stairs so we can fall down? Hey, we was some bad kids. We was wrong, man. Eli didn't
I tell my wife how we used to watch that little child dog and we tried to get it to bite that little girl and it ended up biting you instead.
Yeah. That was because of Michael and Mel. I ain't gonna say what they did. I'm not gonna say. I got bit because of that. That ain't funny, man. I still got them marks on my hand.
Here go the next one, bro.
The Game Boy.
This the old school, yeah.
Yeah, you had that when it came out, like everything else.
Yeah, bro. I was the only one that had it too. Y'all didn't have none.
But y'all got everything you wanted. That confirms what I said in the last show.
Which is what?
You got everything you asked for and you wanted.
I mean, you got what you wanted for Christmas too, right?
Man, you ain't get that for Christmas. You just got that on a random.
Man, that wasn't on no random, bro. That was like a Christmas present.
You didn't even need that. You already had a Nintendo 1, 2.
No, when Nintendo wasn't, it was on. We only had the Nintendo. We got the Nintendo from whatchamacallit.
No, remember you end up getting one on your own too, because that one had got broke.
Yeah, but if I got one on my own, that was because I was buying it myself with that.
No, you wasn't.
That money, yes, it was. Because I used to get all them games from that money I used to get from I'm not gonna say where, but it was very lucrative.
I want to hear the story.
Huh?
I want to hear the story.
I mean,
hold on, wait. Was there some criminal activity?
I mean, you could say it was. It was. If you must know,
you ain't got to say it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it because it incriminate my mom and my aunts and all of them and all that stuff. Huh?
You too.
I'll tell you about it later on.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then it's the last one. This something you I can't believe you say you don't remember who this is.
Who is it?
This is Max Headroom, bro. You used to always play as him and mimic him and stuff like that when we was little.
And what game was that?
It wasn't a game. It was a TV show called Max Headroom, bro.
I don't remember that.
You gotta look it up.
Yeah.
You gotta look it up. You know it when you see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. Who else was on that game?
On what game?
Max Headroom. I mean, show. Who was like?
I can't remember who was all in it, man. I hold on. Let me look it up real quick. Because I can't remember.
I know the other characters.
I can't get it up on that, but yeah, it was a TV show way back in the I think the
I'm gonna look it up.
80s, 90s, and stuff like that.
I'm gonna look
but
it up.
let's get into some
of the first one. This something that I came across, man. I thought it was interesting, so I'm gonna share it. Right here, it say Robin, Batman and Robin. That Robin came out as bisexual in new Batman comic. It's not a video or nothing, but it is a video about it. But I just wanted to get my take on it. I just wanted to show you all that and get my take on it. So my thing is, I don't like that. I don't like it one bit.
Why don't you like it?
Because, man, it's saying like why you got to put that in cartoons and comics? Mainly kids watch cartoons and comics. Like, that's something that they don't need to really cross that road just yet at that early age. It's like you pushing that towards the kids now. You know what I mean? Like you can't. To me, you can't make that's. It's like when they see the people they look up to coming out, and they're gonna feel like, damn, they're gonna be thinking to themselves, am I bisexual? Am I gay? They're gonna ask themselves that question because their favorite superheroes coming out saying they are now. You know what I mean? They might not necessarily be. They might not even know. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. It is influential to the younger adults and stuff like that. But look, I mean, even if you do have younger kids, most of the Batman and stuff and all that junk, I think that's still like older people who are reading those. I don't know how many of the younger generations collect comics. I think they're more into manga these days than they are into actual comic books and stuff like that. I got mixed issues with it and stuff. On one hand, I feel how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's like they're chasing after the youth with it and stuff like that and trying to put it in there and all of that stuff. But comics have always been and always have had relationships and relationship issues in them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You had the love triangle with Wolverine, Jean Grey, Cyclops. That was always an issue. You've had Mary Jane and Peter Parker liking each other, and
but it wasn't men liking men and women liking women.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But here's the thing, though, man. This is what's so crazy about it is that in our reality, in the real world, there are relationships like that in reality and in the real world. So it makes sense in trying to have that being a representation of the real world, that you do have people who are homosexual, bisexual, gay, all of that stuff, lesbians and all. You have that in the real world. So it's not too much of a leap to see it appear in comics. The thing is that when they take readily known characters and then they want to rewrite them to fit into that, you know what I'm saying? Because they're already known. Instead of coming up with a new character that's like that, it's like they want to take the characters people are already associated with and then make them into that, because I think those characters would be more influential if they were to put a new character in there that was bisexual, gay, or whatever, and things like that. And I think that's where the problem really comes in at. But I don't see it's weird because I don't see too much of a problem with them trying to represent what's in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to live in reality. It's not like we can pretend like gay people don't exist, lesbian people don't exist, trans people don't exist, and stuff like that. That's in the reality. You know what I'm saying? So having them in things as far as movies, TV programs, and things like that, it's a reflection of what the reality is. The thing is that they push it to the point to where they try to make that the focus of what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can watch movies, regular movies, and just see people being a couple and stuff, but it's not like it's really pushed to be a couple. Some of them are just trying to be nasty and try to push the envelope of being rated R. You know what I'm saying? Because sex sells. So people will get into it because sex sells. Now it's more like they want to just promote as far as homosexual sex to make it more of a natural thing that people see and desensitize everybody from it and stuff. But it's the same way that people desensitize everybody from being promiscuous and things like that in television and stuff like that. Like I think we talked about it before, and it's like back in the old shows, they barely had couples sleep together in the same bed. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually they started sleeping together in the same bed. It's like it's like America, even though it's like it's the weirdest thing ever because America tried to promote itself as being this pure nation and they just all about being like chaste and stuff like that. But behind closed doors, that's not how America is. But they put that image out there on the media to make it seem like that was the case. But gradually you see how the media and television and stuff begins to line up more and more and more with what America truly is and stuff like that. And I don't really see it as a bad thing.
No, it's not. I ain't looking at it as a bad thing. I don't know, man. I just don't think that that should be, because it's a good chance comics and cartoons and stuff like that, kids are watching that.
I mean, they
Not so
are.
much adults. You know
It's
what I mean? I
not.
don't
It's
think
not.
that's
It's not even that. It's not so much that they are what they are watching
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
They do see it.
Like for the record, I don't have no problem with nobody being bisexual, whatever their sexual preference is. I have no problem with that. I just don't think we should push it on our youth. You know what I mean? Especially our kids, because then they'd be wondering, like, experimenting, might not, you know what I mean? They'd be wondering it within themselves and stuff. You know what I mean?
But see, I mean, this is a slippery slope you slide on with that, because now you run to the gamut of, are you saying that people are being made gay through media, social media, and through things like that, whereas people in the LGBT community would say that they were born gay, were born that way. So they wouldn't believe that someone watching a TV show would all of a sudden want to be gay unless they were already gay.
I
So
don't
and
think
that's
people want to, I don't think that people is, already gay or wondering if I think that that's a trending topic. I think it's trending. I think that gets everybody attention. That's why they went there, that route, to me, because it's going to get attention. That's just my opinion.
I mean, bro, I mean, I don't wholly disagree with you on it. I don't even know if I really. What I'm saying is that even in speaking that way and saying that, the pushback is going to be that people believe they were born this way and not made. They don't think that being gay is a choice, because they'll always say, "Why would I choose to be gay with all the stuff that's going on and how people don't like gay people?" Uh, even though you can see that they control a lot of the media, they get a lot of the things that they want through politics and things like that, and that they can bully people into doing a whole lot of things, to where you would think that they have a lot more power than what they're trying to let on and say that they have.
The LGBTQ community definitely got more power than the black community.
I mean, that's definitely true, but that's not how they would paint the picture. They would not see
I
it
know
that
they
way. They
will.
would not say it's that way. They would definitely make it seem like they don't have that power and that they need representation, which, like I said, I don't see anything wrong with the having the because it reflects what the world is.
Mm-hmm. But it is, the question is the world like that? Is the world, I mean, I understand that we go into a place where people comfortable with their sexuality, but people, I don't know. I just feel like some people is not really like a part of the LGBT community though. I think they just doing it because it's trending and they get popping more. They get more people to view and see what they doing. You know what I mean?
What you mean, not a part of the LGBTQ
I mean,
community?
like you said, that's what the world is going to, but is it really going there, or
No,
like
I
you
didn't. I
said,
didn't say that's. I said that's a reflection of the world. As far as there are, like I said, there are bisexual people, there are gay people, there are
that's
lesbians.
true.
So they're and there are people in relationships. So when you introduce that into comics and stuff like that, it's not like it's anything foreign or new. And we could say, yeah, they're trying to put it in there when it wasn't in there, but it was never a real representation of the world. Even at the time when the comics were made, you know what I'm saying? They still had these things going on, like the X-Men. Professor X and Charles Xavier were based on Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and their views and how they approach things. So you can essentially say that mutants in itself were essentially black people, and they faced discrimination from everybody else outside of them who viewed them as different or animals and things like that. And it's like that gave a reflection of the world to an extent, but not fully, because nobody knew what the real representation of what they were trying to convey in that.
How you know that's true?
Huh?
How you know that's true that Mills was representation of black people?
Because Stan Lee said that. That's what he based Magneto and Professor X off of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. So if they were Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and mutants themselves face discrimination from everybody else and seen as differently and were treated differently, then you can put two and two together to know that the whole group was supposed to be an amalgamation of Black people in the Black struggle of being discriminated against. But people didn't recognize it as that because, you know, you had the fantastical thing of mutants and people shooting lasers from their eyes and popping claws from their hands and telepathy and stuff like that. So it kind of get discombobulated as far as what it's supposed to represent. And even today, now people are starting to realize what it's supposed to represent. And what I'm saying, it was given an overview of the United States and America. Like, comics have always been, I've seen this somewhere, somebody has pointed out how people always get mad when they start putting stuff in the comic books like that and saying it's political. But comics have always been political. They've always tried to represent what's going on in the world at large. It's just that people don't like what's going on now because we are so used to the norm of what we see as far as only seeing heterosexual couples in comics and things like that, a boy liking a girl and things like that. But it's still not reflective of the real world. Do you have to agree with it? No, you don't have to agree with it, but it is a reflection of what the real world is. And it's like, we can't really be mad at them trying to reflect what's going on in the world in real life within comic books, you know?
Yeah, I guess, man, but it's just tricky, man. The LGBTQ kind of becoming bullies, man, but that's another story for another day.
I mean, what's the story we don't mention it probably in every podcast we have. One day we need to just go deep into it and just see what we're talking about. See if that's really the case.
Yeah, we do. We need to do the research to make sure before we speak. You right.
I mean, I can pull up a whole bunch of videos to show where it is, but we can do that. But yeah, that's for the most part. I don't really find too much problems with it and things like that. As far as that go, I mean, is it somewhat like bad? Yeah. Well, it's not really bad. It's like I said, I get what you're saying. It is influential to kids, and kids' minds are easily molded to fit a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, there's a whole lot of nuances with that because people can say, well, why would you teach your kid to think that was wrong in the first place? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not wrong, but I think that type of conversation is a conversation for adults or not just adults, but at least when you're a teenager, then you probably can really say that, yeah, this is what I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is who I am. But as a kid, nah. You ain't. Like, I don't think. But they say I don't know because, I'm not in that position, so I wouldn't know. But I don't think they, like you said, they say people was born. You know.
I mean, people say that. People say they knew they were gay when they were, 5 years old. How? I don't know. I couldn't explain it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, because when I think of any of that, that's like me saying, hey, when I was 5, I knew I was heterosexual. You know what I'm saying? It's like you see people that are cute, you think people that are cute, but engaging in the sexual act with them is a whole different thing. That's what really solidifies what it is that you want to do is how you pursue that in that manner and stuff like that.
I would say when you get about 10, 11, 12, 13, that's when you really start noticing women, like, you know what I'm saying, as a man, or knowing your sexual preference. Like, I think when you get to that age of 12, 13, 14, and preteen,
I mean, yeah, that could be it.
School era, you know what I'm saying? I think that's when you.
That could be it. There's a lot of things we can go into all of that, man.
But we're not gonna spend too much more time on this topic, though. We want y'all definitely to get in the comments and tell us what y'all think about it. Do y'all think that it went too far, or do y'all think that it's okay? Give us your opinion in the comment section, man. We're gonna go on to the next topic, which is this
hold
guy.
On. No, I ain't even want to do him yet.
Oh well, we ain't gonna do him yet. We're gonna hold off on him.
Yeah, he can be the last of the Mohicans. I guess. Yeah. All right. So the new thing that's been going around on the boat these days has been that the OnlyFans is shutting down. As far as not shutting down, but they're gonna get rid of
going away from nudity.
not nudity, because they're gonna still allow nudity on the platform, just explicit sexual acts and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It says, OnlyFans is banning the one thing most users go to its site for, pornography, which is in the UK-based content subscription service, said Thursday it will no longer allow sexually explicit content as of October 1st. OnlyFans said the decision was taken to comply with requests from its banking and payment providers in order to ensure the long-term sustainability of the platform and to continue to host an inclusive community of creators and fans. We must evolve our content guidelines, OnlyFans said in a statement. Payment processors, MasterCard and Visa, cut ties last year with rival Pornhub after accusations the porn site showed videos containing underage sex, rape, and revenge porn. Pornhub denied claims to allow child sexual abuse material and subsequently tightened its rules to prohibit uploads from unverified users. OnlyFans said Thursday it would allow certain posts containing nudity so long as they adhere to its acceptable use policy. It's not clear how this will work in practice. OnlyFans' terms of service outlined a number of things that are prohibited from its platform, including material involving people under the age of 18 and other illegal or harmful content. We will be sharing more details in the coming days, and we will actively support and guide our creators through this change in content guidelines, the company said. And this just goes on to just pretty much some other things they said. From what I've understand, they say what Thursday, which cited an investor that OnlyFans expects to hit 1.2 billion in revenue this year and 2.5 billion by 2022. Since they came in, I've heard that they've made like $5 billion. So my thing is, what you got to say about all of that, bro?
I mean, that if that's what they want to do, like, so be it.
I mean, it's your favorite site, bro. So
no, it's not my favorite site. I don't have not one OnlyFans. I'm not subscribed to not one person OnlyFans. However, it is a way to see it all for free. I ain't gonna say it on here, but it is.
So honestly, man, it's a lot of people that's up in arms. Going through Twitter and stuff, I see a lot of people trying to find new websites to go to. I see a lot of dudes kind of celebrating it. I don't know why. I mean, I know why they celebrating it and stuff like that. I don't know why they're so happy about the whole thing.
They getting away from the pornography.
Huh? No. Say that again.
Celebrating OnlyFans.
They're celebrating the fact that the women, they feel like the women now have to get what they consider real jobs and not make as much money as they got, which I think is kind of.
I don't knock nobody hustle. That's how they want. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, bro. I think it's kind of sad because you can't knock their hustle, bro. It's not their fault that there are horny dudes out there that are willing to shell out money just to see them naked and things like that. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that they decided they would use that as an avenue to make money. So you can't get mad at them because they getting bank off of that. I think that's just ridiculous to be mad at them for it. You know what I'm saying?
And from what I saw, majority of them don't even get naked. They just show you pictures in bikinis and stuff like that, bent over backwards. But majority of them, some do get naked.
I think it's a lot of them that get more naked than what you think, bro.
Man, well, the ones I saw, even some of the celebrities that got one, they don't get naked. They just take like sexy pictures, as they call it.
Yeah, but I don't know if they making bank. I mean, some of them make bank.
They making bank. They making bank. A lot of them is.
I'm saying off the day. Well, you can look and see who the top OnlyFans people are. Mm-hmm. And then, most of them are top celebrities and stuff like that. But I think that's because they already have a following. And like I said, most of them go there because they think they're gonna see. Like dudes, I know probably going there because they think they're gonna see a celebrity that's naked and stuff like that.
One that they probably fantasize about. And, back in the day, you had to leave stuff to your imagination. Nowadays, you can see everything.
I mean, that is true.
But I'm telling you, majority of them don't show nothing, man. They just show the same thing they show on Instagram. From the ones that I saw.
From the ones you saw?
Yeah, I'm not subscribed to none of them, but it's a way to see it for free.
I'm not subscribed to any of them either, but I do know that if you choose the right ones, you see a lot of more than just you see porn, bro.
And 9 times out of 10, them porn stars, they're already doing porn.
Now, okay, like hold on. They got Black China as the top earner, bro, in OnlyFans.
But I bet you she ain't got no videos of her getting smashed.
She
Probably got a
don't.
few. Probably got 1 or 2
Got
pictures of her
Black
being
China,
naked.
Bella Thorne, who I really don't know who that is. Cardi B, Tiger, and then Mia Khalifa, who is a porn star, but I thought she wasn't doing porn no more.
I bet you Cardi B ain't got nothing on there. Her begin, you know what I'm saying?
You got Erica Mena, and I don't know who the other ones are, and Safari is on there too. But I've heard that Erica Mena and Safari, they do some nude stuff on theirs.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And I don't know who the rest of everybody is and stuff like that.
But yeah, I mean, I just think they some women found a way to make more money with their body, and they was making a lot of bank, and now they trying to stop it. But for the most part, like I said, it ain't gonna affect a lot of them because they don't show nudity anyway.
Let me ask you this though, man. Do you think the advent of OnlyFans is now encouraging younger girls to start being more sexual in that way and exposing their body to men for money? Do you think that's a good thing to be doing?
That's for adults, and you shouldn't be able to get on there if you underage.
I mean, you shouldn't, but they say they do a lot of verification and stuff like that. Okay. But the thing is that one of the issues is that they can't clear like who they might be engaging in sex with. Like somebody gave an example, like the chick may be like 24, but the dude she might be having sex with could be a 17-year-old boy and stuff like that. I also seen some posts where there were people who both a man and a woman, I guess, somebody who they engaged in sex with filmed it and posted it to OnlyFans against their consent. And those are the issues that's coming down. And, you know, the fact that Pornhub got hit, and I guess they're being sued by a lot of people for the type of stuff that people were getting on there. Like they said, revenge porn, rape, and all of that stuff. Yeah. People are trying to avoid that happening, and no one's going to invest in the website if those type of things could happen. Now, a lot of people are running to other websites, but eventually it's going to catch them all, because if one person is on there doing something legal, it's going to affect the whole thing.
Right. So I get it. I get why they took it out, just take it out completely, so they know that they can get away from that. So I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't against it and nothing like that,
but I'm just saying, as far as asking you, do you think, you know, it's the same way of that's it's the same way of how you said that the Tim Drake thing and how it affects the youth and stuff like that. Do you think the way OnlyFans affects the youth? And let me put it to you this way.
I think everything
affects. Let me tell you, there was a time where nobody really looked at doing things like that. And if you ever noticed in music, when music started promoting being a stripper was like a job to do and something to aspire for, you started seeing more and more women decide that they would be strippers and these video vixens and things like that. And now during the pandemic, people was making money, and dudes was, I don't know how these dudes who didn't have jobs during the pandemic was selling out this money for these OnlyFans accounts, but they was doing it though. So do you think that that's leading the whole of society into a more promiscuous state or not?
I think the society was already in a promiscuous state. You know what I'm saying? Because sex been selling, and it's been like a hot topic or a hot seller for a long time now. You know what I mean? So I don't think that.
If we go back, like I said, if we go back to what I said at the beginning, as far as how things started off in the media and gradually increased. So even though sex was already selling, there were still certain things that was not as readily acceptable. You know what I'm saying? In today's society. I just seen a TikTok post from a woman who was saying, as far as the way women dress and stuff like that, because I don't want to misquote her, because she was saying how, you know, you could be sexy, but we're getting to the point to where we got younger and younger kids over sexualizing themselves in their dress when that shouldn't be okay. You know what I'm saying? I seen a video where somebody had their daughter who looked like she was at least 5 to 7, bro. Like on a table, dancing, like shaking her butt and stuff like that. Then they had a little boy about the same age sitting on some steps like he was eyeing her. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean as far as we get further and further into that, people start including younger and younger kids in these shenanigans.
And that's when it started becoming a problem. But again, to me, like that's when it becomes a problem. But it's all about what you let your kids listen to, like we said one time before. You know that. Yeah, kids can get certain content that they shouldn't get, but it's all about the way you represent in front of your kids. They like a sponge.
I mean, that's true. You know here's another thing. I seen another video where it was a birthday party and the mom was dressed up in a costume. And she, I guess apparently she went over to the wall and she started twerking on the wall. And then her daughter got on the wall and started twerking with it. So that's what I mean. Like as we get further and further into other things being more permissible, it seems like the younger the youth becomes that gets involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody really sees a problem when people take their youngest kids to a gay pride parade. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And all the things that they have going on in there and how they act in there and you know the sexual overtones they give in there. Nobody sees a problem with that. And so it's like I feel like people are getting carried away with a lot of stuff. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying, but I mean, as everything changes and progresses, certain stuff get more acceptable than it was before. So it's just, I guess it's changing with the times. But it just because it's acceptable for the world, don't mean it should be acceptable in your household.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
But then that's the thing, though. So then, do you end up raising people who they consider bigots, who find these things not acceptable because you don't put it in your household? Mm. Because eventually, how you raise your kid is going to reflect how they're going to see the world. And if the world is moving this way, if the mass majority of everybody is moving one way, yet you're trying to move a different way, they're going to be the outcast when it comes to anything.
I don't think they're gonna be the outcast because you're right. The way the world moves, everybody moving that way to a certain extent. But at the same time, like kids gonna pick up and learn stuff that you're not teaching them outside the household. You can't really control that just by you giving them guidance and teaching them, you know, the meaning and right from wrong and teaching them the right way. They'll make a decision based on what you taught them. So they're gonna see it regardless.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying about as far as seeing it. I'm just talking about as far as the mental state of the way the world is pushing. You know what I'm saying? It's like this, man. If the mental state of everybody is going one way and you're trying to maintain the mental state of your household to be a certain way, then your mental state of your household is going to conflict with the rest of the world. It's not going to see eye to eye. Even though you may see the things that the world does, you're most likely not going to agree with some of the things that the world
does. That's normal. Like that happens all the time. When has a household did see eye to eye?
Oh no. I know that. I know that that's normal. What I'm saying as far as okay. I'm trying to give it to a best. I'm gonna relate it back to what you were saying before.
I got what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but it's I don't think that if you don't buy into what the world is teaching, that your child to be looked at as an outcast.
No. Okay. I'm not saying your child was going to be looked at as an outcast. I'm saying your child will most likely be an outcast compared to everybody else because they'll be the one who's always saying, hey, maybe this isn't cool. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we shouldn't do that. Hey, maybe you really shouldn't wear this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And because of that, if the world itself is saying, hey, all of this stuff is okay, and then you are telling your kid that, hey, some of this stuff really isn't okay, and they grow up thinking that, hey, some of this stuff really isn't okay, it will automatically make them like the outcast. Like I said, if you go to like what you were saying about Tim Drake, Robin and stuff like that, you saying, hey, it's not okay for him to be like that because it's influencing kids. And I'm telling you that people will say it is okay because kids know that they're gay at such and such age. So why are we hiding it from them? You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So I'm saying that makes you a social outcast compared to the world. And I'm not saying everybody in the world believes that way, the opposite way, because there are a lot of people who believe the way you believe and stuff like that in that aspect. But I'm saying as far as the push, like who did you say are the biggest bullies now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you voicing that opinion would get the biggest bullies to pick on you and say, hey, you wrong and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Only because you had an opposite opinion of theirs and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. And like all I'm saying is like even with this is like, you know, people can do what they want to do. I'm always been an advocate for you being a free will agent.
Right.
You're able to do whatever you want. It's just that you have to live with whatever consequences that come from whatever you do. That's all it is to it. But in this free will agency, there is influence on other people. And I'm just saying, like, in all of this, I'm just saying not in people just doing OnlyFans or not in the women that are doing OnlyFans, but the effect of how we have made this like a mainstream job. How does that really affect the youth of young women and young men? You know what I'm saying? How do they see the world and how do they grow up? How does things come about? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be interesting to see how things change in the future.
But like I said, once again, it's all about your household, how you know what I mean, the structure in your household, because the world did a lot of stuff that we didn't do in our household. You know what I mean? The world was, it's all about your household, man. Like I think that with my mother, she gave us free will to think on our own. She never pushed anything on us. She never pushed like religion, none of that stuff. And I respect my mother for that so much, because a lot of people was pushed into certain religions, that was pushed into thinking a certain way. My mother didn't do that. She let us find our own way. And I think that was good for us that we found our own way. You know what I mean? So with that being said, even though the world is pushing everything to be a certain way, and possibly so everybody can be comfortable with everybody's views and sexuality, that could be what they do. I don't know. But I think that you gotta teach your kids. It's like it's more important to teach your kids about certain stuff at an earlier age than it was when we was kids. You know what I mean? You really gotta have your kids ready for this type of stuff. It's hard, it's weird, but it's too much for them. They might understand it then, but it's the way they going. You gonna have to teach them early.
I'm gonna tell you this, then we can move on to the next one. Not too long ago, my youngest daughter, she was in school, and apparently they were. This like really got nothing to do with as far as the sexuality and stuff go, but it's interesting what you say. It's like her school was teaching her, I guess, about slavery. So my wife asked her what did they teach her. She basically said they were telling them how slavery was like them having a job. You know what I'm saying? Like they were working, you know, like they were having a job working for white people and stuff like that. None of the horrors of what it was and stuff. So my wife went and told her as far as the horrors of what it was and how they were forced to work. And it wasn't like they did it on their own and they couldn't really go and all of that stuff. And it kind of like shocked my daughter, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is important to kind of really teach your kids certain things and what it is. But like I said, even in doing that, you open their eyes to a different way of thinking that may be contrary to everything else that's going on, and all of that stuff. And it's like it's something to be prepared for. Like I said, I'm going to be real interested in how things progress as far as in the future and where things are going to go, because it seems like the world is getting real weird. But at that, let's get on to the next thing. Which I'm highly interested to hear what you got to say about.
Okay, we're gonna share it.
Reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Nguyen is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polight. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department
I don't know why
earlier
we
this
can
week.
listen to it.
Police
That's fine.
charged him with
Yeah,
sexual
fine, too.
battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false. This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polight, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who lives in L.A., asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately, groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up.
These are serious allegations, but in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career. Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrace says the police report is only an allegation.
We can remove it right there. It pretty much told you what's going on in a nutshell. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. I don't know, but if you're familiar with Dr. York.
Dr. York?
His name is Malachi Z. York.
Yeah, I've heard him. Yeah.
Polight studied under him.
Yeah.
Dr. York pleaded guilty to some pedophilia type charges. And he studied under Dr. York. I don't know if it's true that Dr. York did what he did, because they said he pleaded guilty to save whatever following he had. I don't know. But he pleaded guilty. You pleaded guilty, you did it to me. If you're meant to doing it, you did it. So with that being said, with Polight, it's DNA. DNA speak for itself. Like, why was your DNA, your semen was on that girl clothes, that young lady clothes? Like, you guilty.
I mean, yeah, pretty much so.
Allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't want no problem.
Okay, yeah, allegedly, yeah, he's guilty. It's a wrap for him, bro. It's got to be a wrap for him. If everything what I've heard as far as being reported is true, as far as I'm finding his semen all over him, as far as the little girl's mouth being swollen, as far as her being as her mother stated, she had never even kissed a boy before, bro. He got problems, bro, and I hope he just sit up under the jail. And the sad part is that he sat up here and he started speaking. He speaks so much about being for the black community and doing all of this and everything like that, and all you is a user.
That's it. He been a user.
I mean, I know. Yeah. But it's like people harp to these cats and get with these dudes and try to follow them because they looking for like I said this before, a messiah, somebody who can lead the black people to the promised land. Yeah. And you find out that he ain't nothing but a monster, just like everybody else he be trying to talk about.
I'm gonna tell you how I first knew. When I first heard of Polight, that's what it is. Brother Polight. You know, his name said his government name, but that's Brother Polight. Y'all didn't know because we didn't show the actual photo. He an influencer to the black community. But my first thing that I noticed about him when I knew that this dude was full of crap, one is he always speak on like most of them. You got to support black-owned businesses. You got to buy black-owned. We got to keep the money in the black community. And then you look at his Instagram. Everything he got on is a what they call it, upscale designer. You know, like the Gucci's, the Louis, all that stuff. You never see him with no. Yeah, it's a lot of black clothing lines. You never see him with it on. He'll wear dashiki from time to time.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. When you be saying that, that's what I be talking about as far as and it's like what you be saying. If he feel that way, then that be he'd be the perfect person to advertise for up and coming black designers who make shoes, clothing, and things like that, and put them on the map so that black people can start going to them and make them the new Gucci, make them the new whatever else, you know what I'm saying, whatever else name brand thing that people like to buy out there and stuff like that. Make them the new person so that everybody that's black will flock to them, and that will also bring everybody that's white, because white people always follow behind black people wherever it goes. They follow behind black people when it comes to buying Gucci and all of that junk. You know what I'm saying? When it was first, like when Gucci was just a low class thing that maybe certain people had. Once black people start going getting it, everybody want to go get it. You know what I'm saying?
But this is the thing. This is the thing too. Not to cut you off, but I want to finish. This is the thing too. Like the message, some of his messages be on point to me. I can agree with certain messages that he did. With that being said, I can separate the message from the messenger and just take the message. But a lot of people cannot do that. A lot of people buy into who the person is, and that's when then they buy into the message. They see the flashy cars, flashy clothes, jewelry, and then they, oh, who is he? What is he doing? Then they want to buy into him. But I want to hear the message. I got to hear what you're saying for me to buy into you. You know what I'm saying? But if what you saying and and what you represent don't match up, I can still get your message and respect your message, but I can't respect you. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
That's true. But then what happens to his message? Do you start quoting him still?
I don't quote him.
I'm saying in general. Do people quote him? Do you post them up everywhere? Do you go, hey, Blood and Polite, do you still post his videos that have good messages and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
That man, go ahead.
I'm just saying, because it's like I hear people say that, you know, separate the message, like when they say it about R. Kelly, separate the music from R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? My wife said she listened to, because Aaliyah's music just got downloaded on iTunes and stuff like that, so people can start listening to Aaliyah's music on iTunes and stuff. So my wife said she was listening to Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. She said she started thinking about the words that was being said in that song. And when you realize R. Kelly and who he was and the things that he did, you realize that he was trying to manipulate her at 14 years old to have sex with her and stuff like that.
You can't separate what R. Kelly did from his music simply because when you listen to his music, now when I listen to it, and I think that R. Kelly is being railroaded. He's guilty of some of that stuff. But I really believe that they knew that way back in the 90s when he did what he did.
Oh, yeah.
He should have been prosecuted. But right now to do it, I don't understand that. I feel like he's being railroaded right now. But you cannot separate what he has done from his music. With certain music, like I Believe I Can Fly, you can separate it because he you know what I mean? Because of what the content of that music is.
Yeah, but I believe I Can Fly could also mean he believe he can get away with all this he's just been doing. I mean, you can double edge a lot of his stuff, bro.
But R. Kelly 12-play album, it's hard to separate that 12-play album from what he did. It's hard, man. I like that album, but when you listen to it and hear it, you catch all type of lyrics that he say, you be like, man, this guy really been saying what he was about. His music for a long time. Like we just overlooked it. So that him and Polight is a different situation, but you could throw that whole dude away, brother Polight. Throw him all away. Throw everything he said. Throw it all away.
Polight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Throw it all away.
I would agree.
Throw it all away, man.
I would agree. Well, like I said, everything's alleged right now. We don't know if he's gonna be proven guilty or not. Yeah. If he does have his DNA on it and he goes to jail, it's gonna be a big blow to the woke community as far as black people goes. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna come up with a conspiracy to say, "Dog, that's why they did him like that."
Yeah, they definitely will. I mean, they're gonna try to save face and all of that stuff. This is why I say, man, people shouldn't put too much stock in all these celebrities and all these people, these gurus that come up here and just start speaking and start talking, because you end up finding out that they full of shit, bro.
But like, you know what?
That they all full of.
But you know what? And what I said earlier, I think that they say if most of the people that become predators was also victims, and Dr. York pleaded guilty to some pedophilia type stuff. So he was under Dr. York. He could have been a victim. I'm not giving him an excuse or an out, because this is not an excuse. But I say that to say that he could have been a victim and had this, you know, because most people that was victims.
You mean being a victim of Dr. York?
Could have been
in
I ain't
prison.
saying he before he went to prison.
Before he went to
Dr. York.
prison,
Yeah.
I thought he met him in prison.
Oh, he met him. Or then I take that back. I apologize. Then.
Yeah.
I thought he was under him before he met him in prison.
No, I think he met him in prison. That's
Okay,
where
well,
he
then I
learned
take
to teach from. Yeah.
Okay, well I take that back then.
You met him in prison. Because he came out like Polite came out like he is now from prison, from meeting Dr. York and stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, all the stuff very well may just be true, dog. And you know, people think that they can get away with all types of stuff and see that it's cool. I mean, he played himself by not saying call the police right away. He worried about his career being ruined. That's not the look to go to, because why would your career be ruined if you ain't do nothing? You know what I'm saying? Yep. What you worried about that for? You didn't want her. You thought that she was just gonna be so into you that she wouldn't report any of the stuff to the police, and you wanted her to fail her own daughter, which you shouldn't ask any woman to fail their own daughter. You know what I'm saying? If a mother feels that her daughter's been wrong, you should support her in her vengeance 100%, no matter what it is, and all of that stuff. But if everything is proven to be true for him, I hope he gets buried underneath the jail, bro.
Buried underneath the jail, because that is wrong, man.
Buried
that
underneath
wrong.
the
Like,
jail, bro. And everybody that's associated with him, I hope everybody give them a double look and start scrutinizing where they've been at and who they've been messing around with and what they might have been doing also. Cool. Look at the whole camp, bro, because they all might be on some fugazi stuff.
Yeah.
For real. Because it ain't cool. But like I said, you know, when you got people that are essentially godless in a lot of ways, they'll do cruel things like that and think that they can get away with it and think that they're cool with it and stuff. You know, I'm not sad about this. I'm not over here looking like, oh, it's another one for the black community they taking out and all that stuff. Nah, bro. Anybody that do anything that's like that deserve to get what they got. That's why I say R. Kelly deserved to get everything that he got. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, everybody knew about R. Kelly since the 90s, bro.
They ain't do nothing about it. So I think that it's bigger than him. It should be a lot more people going down.
Oh, yeah.
In
it
this
definitely
case,
should be.
R. Kelly. Now, let me say this one thing about R. Kelly's situation. It's a girl, her name Geronda Pace, right? This young lady was the same young lady at 16 years old, went to his trial with the girl that he allegedly peed on and all that stuff. She was at that trial at 16, and that's how she ended up meeting him and going back to his house and told him she was 18. Why would you put her on trial? She was on Jerry Springer saying my underage sister or son was selling her body for money or something. On Jerry Springer, one of those shows, I seen a little clip. Why would you put her on a stand anyway? You should have kept her away from it, because if you just hear her whole situation, it's clear that she was all about money.
Yeah, it might be
you
the case.
I just had to say that, man.
In that aspect, it's sad when you got people that are out there like that.
I ain't defending what R. Kelly did.
I know, but I mean, it is sad because you do have some women that'll do things like that and be grimy in order to get paid. But in all, you got to be careful. And if R. Kelly wasn't the type of person that he was, he probably would never been caught up in that in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it wouldn't have mattered if she lied and said she was 18 or if she told him the truth that she was 16. You'd have to say, well, would he have done it if she told him he was 16?
But the fact that she went to his trial, she understood what he was facing. She understood who he was, the type person he was. She understood that because you went to the trial.
Yeah, but was he found guilty in the trial?
How could you not understand that?
Was he found guilty in the trial?
He got found not guilty, remember? He was found not guilty.
That's what I'm saying. So why would she know what he about? If he got found not guilty. I said, why would she know what he about if she got? I'm saying if he got found not guilty, then it's like he's innocent. He didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that she went to the trial.
Listen. If you had them type of allegations, why would you even put yourself in that situation to see if it's true or not? Off the fact that it's allegations, that should already a red flag. Why would you put yourself in that situation?
I mean, obviously,
see the allegations.
I'm not gonna hold to the aspect that some of these chicks didn't want to just have sex with R. Kelly. I'm not gonna hold to that because I believe some of them did, regardless how old he was and things like that. I'm not so naive to think that there are chicks out there, even young girls, who aren't promiscuous and aren't into just having sex. I mean, for goodness sake, I went to high school with a lot of chicks who was having sex with niggas that was older than them,
Yeah, coming to pick them up.
or having sex at a young age in the first place. So it's not so out the realm that that's a possibility. I hate when people act like that's an impossible action. No one under these ages are having sex at this age. It's like, what are y'all even talking about, bro? It's like, come on, y'all encourage people younger than that to be all types of things and do all types of stuff, but somehow y'all don't think that's a possibility. So I'm not gonna hold to the pretense that wasn't the case. That very well may be the case, bro, that she just went there and she wanted to meet up with R. Kelly and she wanted to have sex with R. Kelly. And that's why she probably told him that she was 18, because if he just beat a rap of messing with an underage girl, he would probably be a little bit more cautious with messing with an underage girl than he would be if he met somebody that was at the age of consent. You know what I'm saying? As far as, or the age of majority. I think 18 is the age of majority or whatever.
17 is the legal age in Chicago. Just hearing his whole story, they said it on that Surviving R. Kelly that 17 was the legal age in Chicago. But don't quote me on that. But I ain't defending that dude whatsoever. I'm just saying with that particular young lady, if that's the same one that went to his trial from that Surviving R. Kelly, I think her name was Geronda Pace.
You say don't believe.
She had been doing a media run. I don't know. She knew what she was doing. Now, this is another thing. At what age do you say that they know right from wrong? What age? What age? Like, we need to, I'm saying, like, for teenagers, like, because when you 16, 17 years old, you know right from wrong. You know when you mess with this old man, I should not be doing this shit.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what age?
Here's the thing. Even in that, if you meet somebody that's a celebrity that has a high status, you can be easily manipulated.
And that's a fact. That's
so
a fact.
He did use his star status to manipulate probably a lot of these younger girls and stuff like that. But you are correct that these kids, like I said, we can't hold the pretense that kids that are at this age, 16, 15, 14, don't know what sex is or are not engaging in sexual activity. There's plenty of kids at that age you can do. If you were to be a fly on the wall, you would catch having sex at the school, bro. So the fact that everybody acts like this is, like I said, the fact that people act like this is an impossible thing to think about is beyond me, you know, especially when you're older, because most of us know how we were when we were around that age and how we were trying to be nasty and doing all types of stuff and everything like that. So I get what you're saying and all of that stuff.
I ain't defending them though.
But like I said, no one's going to tell you what it is as far as what age you can say somebody would know what right from wrong is. Because like I said, when it comes to things like that, let me tell you, when it comes to things like that, it'll be always they were wrong. Like they didn't know, they were kids. They didn't fully understand what it is that they were getting into. But if that same kid was to say, hey, I wanted to be, I'm a boy, I want to be a girl. Oh, they fully know what they want to get into. They are fully aware of what it is in their sexual surroundings and things like that. So it really depends on the climate and who you're talking to and how they like to flip the script when it fits their agenda and what they want and when it's not for what they want. You know what I'm saying? So that's a tricky question, bro. But I'm gonna leave it at that for that whole thing.
I'm gonna just say I was specifically talking about the Geronda Pace. That's the girl that went to his trial. She knew, to me, in my opinion, she knew she was targeting him. To me, because she was at a trial for him being charged with some crime, underage sex crime. So to me, you knew it was allegations, even though he was pleading not guilty, found not guilty. But you knew that he was sick. You knew, like you. But anyway, we're gonna end it right there, man. Because you know, we got this stuff going on today, man. So get in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think. You know, and like I said, we have nothing against the LGBT community. It's just questions that we have that, you know, that we talking about. It's not that we against nobody. You know what I'm saying? We just have questions like anybody else. And, you know, and when you ask certain questions, they will try to hold that against you. But I just got questions, man.
Yeah, and if you about as old as we are, if you're 80s baby, 90s baby, or whatever, put in there some of the things that you remember back in those days that we might be able to bring up and all of that stuff. Let us know how you feel about, you know, OnlyFans not having the explicit sexual content. What you feel about Brother Polight and his deal that he's got going on, and things like that. And what's your take on comics introducing Tim Drake as being bisexual, or just cartoons and things like that in
Robin,
general?
for those who don't know who Tim Drake is.
Okay, yeah, Robin, I guess, but there's plenty of Robins. It's not just one.
Batman sidekick Robin.
There's plenty of Batman sidekicks that are Robins.
But if
it's not
you don't
just
look,
one.
what I'm saying is, if you like me, you really ain't into comics like that. You
Yeah,
ain't know
yeah,
the
yeah.
difference. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so then Robin, for all you non-weebs out there, blurbs out there, what are your feelings on Tim on Robin being bisexual and things like that? Let us know in the comments. Talk. Send the questions our way, whatever it may be. We'll try to respond as best as we possibly can. Other than that, man, that's all I got. This is Black Sun. I'm out, bro.
This African and this Sons of Africa podcast.